Welcome to another Rolled in Reacts episode. This customer came in complaining about poor acceleration. And this customer drove their car almost completely without oil, and this is what happened to the oil filter. And this truck came in because it had a strange noise coming from the differential after another shop had done some work on it. It looks a bit like ice cream. Customer states, my friend helped me swap wheels, but now I have a clunking noise. When your truck broke down, but you have some of the most creative friends who are there to give you a little extra push. Nah, there's plenty more miles in them rotors. And the owner of this car had apparently hit a curb doing 50 miles an hour. Customer states, just changed the spark plugs myself, but car now has a misfire. And this car came in because it kept having low oil pressure after the owner had hit something on the road. This customer came in saying that they always have a little puddle of oil on the driveway and wanted it looked at. Looks great. This Tesla had to come in after the customer heard a loud sparking noise when trying to charge it. Apparently, the customer had hit a pretty small rock while driving on an unmarked road. Customer came in saying that his car feels bumpier than normal after he had done some suspension work on it all by himself. This customer came in saying that every time I hit the brakes really hard, the fuel level drops. After further inspection, the mechanic found that someone had drilled a hole in the fuel tank at such an angle that the car was losing quite a lot of fuel during hard braking. And speaking of fuel tanks, this old truck was finally getting itself a new one. Customer states, I have a really bad clunking sound and my truck struggles to shift gears. Can you check it out? This customer came in saying that they do all their own maintenance work, but lately their brakes have been acting strange and this is what the mechanic found. And the owner of this car came in saying, my car sounds like a chocolate wheel, but I ain't winning nothing. Customer states, car is louder than normal and smells like burnt plastic. Please advise. And this car came in because it had started to sound weird. The mechanic noticed that the customer hadn't done an oil change since new, and this is what he found. And the owner of this car came in complaining about a thumping noise during hard acceleration. This truck rolled in because the customer said it had started to shift really roughly after their son had borrowed it for a week. And this customer had apparently done their very own DIY exhaust repair. Customer states, I hit a pothole and my car isn't the same ever since. And this has gotta be one of the coolest swaps I've ever seen. A G30 motorhome with a badass Chevy small block. Now that's a proper sleeper. This customer came in saying that their car has started to tick a lot lately. The mechanic found there to be almost no oil on the dipstick. This car was in for an oil change when the mechanic noticed the state of the tires. When told about it, the customer apparently just replied, what do you mean? I already fixed them myself. Yep, everything's alright. Nothing to see here, folks. Oh. Oh. Customer states, I don't know what happened, I was just pulling a trailer of concrete behind me. This customer needed a new exhaust, so he designed and installed one all by himself. Customer states, car sounds like an old boat, please advise. And the owner of this car said that their car sounds like an angle grinder when starting up. Customer came in saying that they don't have any heating in their car anymore. The mechanic went, okay, we'll fix it. And this car had some work done at another shop, but had to come in after the wheel had flown off as the customer had been pulling into his driveway. Customer states, my car sounds like a frisky seal, please advise. The mechanic said that it turned out to be a clogged PCV valve. This car came in on a tow truck because the engine had locked up. Apparently, a cylinder liner had cracked, which had caused coolant to mix with oil, leading to this gooey situation. And tell me one thing silver tape can't fix. This 2019 Challenger came in with some starting issues after the owner had done some electrical work on it together with his father-in-law. The mechanic said that once he replaced the wiring harness, the car fired right up. Customer states, car smokes like it's smoking 12 packs a day, please advise. Apparently, the smoke was caused by oil that was seeping out onto the engine because of a bad valve cover gasket. And unfortunately for this customer, it looks like they will need an engine replacement. A curb champion. This customer came in saying that they can turn on their car, but they can't shut it off. Turned out to be a faulty CAN bus system. Customer states, I can't tell how fast I'm driving, please advise. And the owner of this car came in saying that they think they might have a leak. This 2017 Nissan Frontier came in because the owner says it has started sounding like a tractor. And this BMW M3 rolled in because the customer complained about a clunking noise. This car was in for a yearly safety inspection, and this is what the technician found. And this customer came in because they had lots of vibration when driving. The mechanic found that one of the wheels had been welded a total of 6 times. Customer states, car makes a strange noise and battery light is on. This customer came in complaining about a bad smell in the cab. And this car rolled in because it just wouldn't turn off. The mechanic tried everything from disconnecting the battery to even pulling the map sensor, but nothing worked. This car came in after the owner said that he had been driving with a clunking sound for a few weeks and wanted it checked out. Yummy. Customer states, I have a vibration when driving on the highway. And this customer had to come in urgently after their son-in-law had borrowed their car for the weekend. And the owner of this Lexus wanted another look to the interior, so he painted it all by himself. And this car came in after the owner had lost control of it on the highway and hit a guardrail that just about guarded him from not sustaining any serious injuries. Sparky Sparky! And this engine didn't want to start after it and the owner had taken a little swim. Oof, now that was close. Customer states, was driving on the highway when one of my wheels started driving faster than the other ones. And this mold wagon wanted to be a Volkswagen again, so the owner had it in for some cleaning and this is how it looked afterwards. And this 2019 Audi RS3 came in because the owner said that they heard a loud pop when driving and then the car suddenly stopped. Yep, that looks about right. And when your oil changes start looking this nice and shiny, it's probably best to make sure you have some good car insurance. How to tell if someone has battery issues without actually starting the car or looking at the battery. Customer states, did my own oil change, but now my oil gauge keeps getting all excited. And this Toyota Tacoma rolled in for some wheel balancing after the owner had tried doing it by himself. And this fleet truck came in for its first oil change in 20,000 miles, and this is what that looked like. Customer states, whenever I turn on the AC, my car squeals like a pig. Please advise. And this customer had borrowed their truck to a friend for a couple of days and got it back looking like this. This Ford F-150 came in because it wouldn't start after having been parked away for a few months. Apparently, someone had made the truck into its new home and also snacked on some of the wires and hoses. This truck rolled in because the brakes caught on fire after the owner had installed some new rotors and calipers together with a friend. And for some reason, this car had disc brakes on the right side and drum brakes on the left side. Customer states, my truck keeps launching air biscuits. Can you check it out? Turns out it just needed a new gas cap. And this car came in with a pretty dangerous leak. And this Audi Q3 rolled in because it had a knocking sound. And this customer came in saying that they think something's wrong with their tires. Yup, looks good. This car rolled in with brake issues after the owner had tried replacing the pads by himself. Customer states, my tire keeps leaking. Choo choo! this customer came in saying that they think they hit something, but they're not quite sure. This 2015 Subaru Crosstrek came in with starting issues because one of the owners had chewed up the fuel and evaporator lines. Customer states, hit a pothole, but I wasn't even going that fast. And the owner of this car came in complaining about it feeling slower than normal. And this Ford F550 came in because it kept leaking transmission fluid. Turns out that it was caused by a tiny crack in the torque converter. And when your oil looks like this, you're probably in trouble. And this Kia Sorento came in with a pretty decent oil leak. The mechanic found it to be caused by a leak in oil pressure sensor. Customer states, car sounds like it's blended in rocks. Can you check it out? And the owner of this car had done some brake work at a different shop, but now has a clunking noise when going over bumps. Customer states, can you tell my Tesla to stop farting all the time? This customer rolled in saying that for the past few months they've had a pretty bad vibration when driving. And this car came in because the tire looks unwell, said the customer. And apparently, the owner of this Dodge Challenger was driving home after just having purchased it secondhand when both of the front wheels popped at the same time. And this customer had their friend help them fix their brakes, but had to come in because now they don't have any brakes anymore. Customer states, my car won't go over 1,200 RPMs, please advise. The mechanic found that someone had replaced the tube going to the throttle position sensor, but had been in a bit of a rush and ended up damaging the connector. Customer came in saying that their steering wheel has started to wobble a lot lately. And this customer came back into the shop after having said, my nephew will fix it, he's a great electrician. And you know, some heroes wear capes, but others change their transmission in the parking lot of Napa. That looks a bit too cold. And this customer had touched up and painted the rims all by themselves. And this car rolled in because it wouldn't go into gear anymore after the customer had done some rock crawling together with their buddies. This customer was afraid that someone would actually try to steal their Kia, so they installed a little James Bond anti-theft gadget. And this mechanic had designed his own working lamp. Pretty cool. And the owner of this car rolled in because they said that their car has been bumpier than normal during the past few months. Customer states, "I don't see nothing wrong with it. Do you?" And this car came in with a bit of a fuel leak. This customer came in saying that their engine makes a rattling sound after another shop had looked at it. And the owner of this car complained about poor acceleration. Turns out that a squirrel had turned a muffler into a secret stash of nuts. Customer states, "My engine thinks it's a cappuccino maker. Please advise." And this customer came in saying that they've started hearing a clunking sound when driving after their friend had borrowed their car for a week. Customer came in saying that they were racing their buddy when they suddenly heard a loud bang from the engine bay, and this is what the mechanics found. And God only knows when this car had its last oil change. This Lincoln Navigator came in because the owner had done his own exhaust work and wanted to see if it was done right. That cherry bomb right underneath the gas tank was all I needed to see. And this customer came in all proud and said, "I do all my own engine work, but the car has a minor starting issue and he wants the mechanics to take a look at it." The owner of this car rolled in because of an exhaust leak after having had it repaired at another shop. Customer states, "My car jerks around a bit during idle. Is that normal?" This 2021 Chrysler Pacifica rolled in after the owner complained about squeaky brakes and clunking sounds after their stepson had installed new wheel bearings on it. Apparently, the mechanics found that they forgot to put the bolts back when installing the new bearings, so it's fair to say that they came in right on time. The owner of this Honda Fit came in after the AC had stopped working. Once the mechanic started working on it, he found the issue to be caused by the car only having about half of the AC condenser left, which is something he's never come across before. Let us know in the comments if you've ever seen anything like this before. Customer states, "I hit like a small rock or something on a dirt road, and now my traction light is on all the time." This Mazda 6 came in with a seized engine just 3 days after the owner had changed the oil by himself. This customer came in saying, "Every time I go over a bump, there's a clunking noise." This 2007 Volkswagen Jetta came in for an oil change, but when the mechanic started telling the customer about the loose radiator, the drain plug that didn't want to be unplugged, and all the other issues that he should probably fix first, the customer just got upset and drove away. And this customer keeps coming back to the shop all the time, but never gives his last name. What's your best guess? This car came in with quite the list of issues. Customer states, "Hit a piece of wood on the highway." And this customer complained about their car being very bumpy when driving at lower speeds. The owner of this car came in with some starting issues after he had installed a new sound system all by himself. This 2003 Mercedes S-Class rolled in because it didn't have any brakes after the owner had heard a loud bang while driving on the highway. Apparently, the rotor somehow exploded when the customer stepped on the brakes. And this customer came in complaining about their AC not being cool enough, and this is what the mechanic found. The owner of this Lexus came in saying, "I just bought this car and something's already wrong with the steering. Can you check it out?" And when your transfer case fluid looks like this, you probably had some fun. This customer came in and said, "My tire keeps leaking all the time. Can you fix it?" And the owner of this RV rolled in because they wanted the mechanics to have a look at the LED strip that they had installed by themselves. Apparently, the customer had tried smaller and bigger fuses, but they all just kept blowing for some reason. Customer states, car wobbles and makes clunking sounds. Customer states, feels like something's wrong with the suspension. Please advise. And this customer had done his own oil change every single year, but had to come in because of a knocking sound. And this car had some issues with its AC pump. This BMW came in on a tow truck because of a leak after the owner heard a boink sound when driving back home from work. When you're just that determined to get every last mile out of your tires. This customer came in saying that they just had an oil change at another shop, but now the car is running really bad. Correct. Customer states, changed timing belt together with a friend, but now engine runs really rough. Alright, she's good, get her out of here. This car came in after the owner complained about a tire leak. And this is probably as good as it gets. This change is holding the exhaust up, a wireless O2 sensor, Toyota muffler, a little 90-degree angle that turns into 45, and then we get into the super sealed slinky that doesn't leak at all. And we continue a little further down and we get a Chrysler muffler on a Nissan that sits on a couple of Dodge rims. A piece of art, I'd say. The owner of this car came in saying that they think their steering wheel wobbles way too much. Yummy. Looks good. Customer states, I keep hearing a prize wheel sound when driving slow. And this car has 0 miles on it, but is already ticking like crazy. Talk about quality right there. This customer came in because they said that their car has started to sound a bit strange. And the owner of this Mercedes came in saying, I didn't buy a Merc just to have it sound like this. And apparently this customer does all their own repairs. This customer had designed his very own emergency battery starter and said that his biggest idol is Nikola Tesla. Thank God Tesla didn't have to see this one. This Jeep came in because the 4-wheel drive had stopped working after the customer had done some off-roading together with their buddies. Customer states, every time I turn, there's a party in my dash. And this customer had changed the oil pan gasket by himself and wanted to make sure everything looked alright. Customer states, installed a new battery, but car still won't start sometimes. Please advise. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and until next time.